Jeff here with Jeff's Custom RC, coming at you today with the Corsair F4U that I have painted in the Jolly Roger scheme, guys. Have to do a little repair. As you can see, the door hanging down here, which is not actually the problem. I just don't have it attached. The actual problem is the servo right here, guys. Came down hard on it, and so messed up the worm gear. So we're going to be doing a replace on that today. And looky here, we actually have a package from Motion RC, and that's also going to be my servo for my F7F Tiger Cat that I'm going to be repairing for you guys and finishing up on that as well. Hope you'll enjoy this and maybe pick up a little tip. This is something with this plane, guys. You are going to have to remove the entire wing on this plane to get to what you need to remove the servo, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing here first today is removing our 4 screws, 2 here and 2 here, that hold on our main wing, because as I was saying earlier, this wing is going to have to come out and come apart. But before I do that, I'm going to retract, or actually put the gear down on this plane, so that once I take the wing off, it'll be easier to access everything. Alright guys, so we're sitting here watching a little Motion RC pre-flight checklist with James today while we're working on the Corsair. Hey James, hope you're doing well, man. I have a pre-flight checklist. I'll just show you real quick, guys, that I have on this Corsair. Alright, so I have a pre-flight checklist built into my radio, guys, and this plane will not fly per se. It will, but you can't see all your other readout until you clear this. And what you do is you press the roller here. So I've got test the controls. Okay, I normally do that. Gyro initialize, I do that. Of course, think my battery's charged, I always check it. Yes, it is. Prop secured, so that means throttle cut, yes. And then the retracts are down. Okay, so that would be a check. So now I go to my home screen, and everything will test and check. So just another pre-flight checklist you can put in here. So one thing I wanted to show you really quickly, guys, if you're going to take this wing off of this plane, first thing you're going to want to do is come inside here in the battery bay, and you're going to want to unplug your 2 wings right here from your blue box right there, guys. Then the wing will come right off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hang on a second. Our ribbon cable's unplugged. When I have the screws out, I pick the wing up, and as you can see, the wing comes right off just like that. So now I'm gonna lay this under my plane here, right on the table, and then this is the retract right here, guys. You see how we have nothing here? This is the one we're going to be replacing right here. So stay with me and I'll show you how we get to it. First thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come in here and flip this wing over and show you what we have here. Our screws that are right here and right here, these have got to come out so we can pull this wing apart, and basically in doing that we'll be able to get to everything we need to, because we've got to unplug our servos for our retract to get it out of here. All right guys, so we've got the wings apart, and now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing the screws right here, these 2 screws that hold in our little basically plugs for all of our servos in this wing. And as you can see, there's a lot going on in here. We've got 2 flaps, you've got gear, you've got gear doors, you've got ailerons. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. So we're going to unscrew this so that when I pull on the lead from the servo, we can actually see which plug down in here we need to take out. Now, I will tell you this. I have already come in here and I have already marked it, and it's this one right here with the silver paint on it. But I'm still going to take this board out, guys, because it makes it a lot easier to work with everything and to do that. So let me unscrew these screws. Okay, so we have our board loose, and as you can see, these are all basically twisted, and all that does is twisted because it helps to keep the wires from being such a mess. But that is actually the way they do them from the factory. And I could take the ribbon cable off right now if I wanted to, but there's not really a need to. So I'm going to flip this wing over and show you kind of where we're at and what we've got to go through to get this retract out of here. If we lift this broken retract up, as you can see here, we have 4 screws that are holding in our servo, and we will be taking those out. Now, this servo lead going to the servo runs underneath all of this stuff here, and then comes down into this channel to the plug here. So in order to get all of this retract out, guys, you're going to have to take this servo out as well. That's why I have these unhooked, so I can get these doors just to stay open. But this is going to have to come out, and you're going to have to move some of this out of the way. And this is the wire going to this retract. So we're going to get these screws out of this retract down in here. There are 4 of those. All right, so just another quick note, guys, on removing this servo. This right here, this door has a spring that attaches to this shaft. So if you extend this gear, you can see the spring down in there. Now I have already taken it off, and that's so that this can lay down into the compartment, and this is out of my way. Then I can get to all 4 of my screws. As you can see, I've already loosened them. I just haven't pulled it out, and I'm getting ready to do that, which will allow me to lift this servo out. So that's where we're headed next. Okay, so we have the servo out of the plane. Everything's good. Now what I'm going to do, guys, as you can see, the retract itself, the shaft, I'm going to take this off with these set screws right here. Go ahead and get this out of the way. It's just less to have to worry about. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to be removing these 2 screws to get this servo out of the way so we can get to the wire on the end of the plug. So it's a lot to it, guys. This is it's a big ordeal to change this servo, and this is the Achilles on this plane, from what I understand from Hobby Squawk and RC groups. I didn't really land too hard on this, but it was a bumpy landing, and it just collapsed. So I wish they'd have made these easier to get to, but at the end of the day, you do what you do, and it'll get there. So stay with me, and I'll keep on moving. All right, guys, this is our part. And it is part number E861LU, retract controller, and it is for the Corsair for the left side. So make sure you get the right one. Ask me how I know. All right, guys, so here we are with the Corsair all back together, and as you can see, the retracts are up. Everything's working really nicely. Just a quick note, guys, of course, putting your wing back together is the reverse of what I showed you earlier. With taking out your screws, you have 6 screws total that keep the wings together and on the plane. 4 that hold it on the plane, 2 that hold the 2 wing halves together, along with your spar. And then your ribbon cables, of course, come back up into your plane here and plug right down in here into your blue box. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, I have everything hooked up. I will show you quickly what we have going on here, guys. And see, our doors open. Retracts are down. Everything looks nice. This is the one right here that we replaced the servo in. And I told you at the end of the other video, ask me how I know. Okay, well, so here's the problem, guys. You have to have a left and a right servo for this plane for your wings. Okay, so when I ordered the servo for this to begin with, I was standing in front of the plane. And well, I said I needed a right servo. So I ordered a right servo from Motion RC. And of course, when it got here, well, guess what? It was the wrong one. It was for this wing. So now I have an extra one for that wing. So I had to reorder. And just note to self, guys, and a lot of you know this, and I know it too. I just made a dumb mistake like we all do from time to time. If you're looking at your plane and you're wondering, is it left or right, stand behind your plane. Then you will know that this is your left wing, because if you're facing the plane, this is your right. So always stand behind your plane, and you'll know whether it's a left or right that you need. Just a tip, guys, and I'm sure, again, that's pretty redundant for a lot of you guys. I'm sure you know it. I know it, but I just made a dumb mistake looking at the plane from the front. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Hope maybe it helped some of you out with repairing this retract. You do the same for the other side should you need to. It is a little bit of a bear to get to, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to have retracts. And so glad it worked out. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Jeff. This is Jeff's Custom RC. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing. And turn on your notifications to all, guys, so you get notifications of all upcoming videos that I'm putting out. And I will be having some new ones coming up soon, guys. Thanks, and have a great day.